With that being said, we've got one more that I was shocked I actually ended up really liking because I love The Office. That was the show that I went to sleep to every night in high school. I would just throw on an episode, it would immediately put me out. I'd wake, I think I have like Winter Soldier, like memorizations of parts from The Office and moments and scenes, and it was such a big part of my life. When you find out that not only are they going to continue it, but they're going to bring some of the characters in
the same universe,
even in the same time where they did the Dwight Schrute spinoff, and they had already tried this and it didn't work. So there was a part of me that was really nervous of this is just a cash grab, and if you're going to cash grab one of the best like mockumentary sitcoms ever created, you better have something good. And I think they have something good.
It's weird how the world has changed, right? The Office was a big success for Thursday night TV. Yeah. This is not on NBC. This is only streaming on Peacock.
Peacock, yep, right? 10 episodes.
Isn't that so strange? Where you're like, it's on TV and also on Peacock. It's like, this is a streaming-only show. Yeah. Not that that works against it. It's just weird how 20 years ago, that was destination TV.
Yep. And it was like, if you missed an episode, you missed the episode for the week. So this is interesting that you get all 10 episodes right away. You can binge watch it, and then that's it.
Is it too much at once? Watching?
No. Well, here's the thing. Okay. The Office Season 1, you could argue, is vastly different from all of the other seasons.
Yeah.
Michael has a receding hairline in it. There are characters that just never show up again that have been in the background. So I have to give a little leeway. Whatever kinks need to be worked out for this first season, I am sure they're able to. And I think it's a stronger start than the first season of The Office.
Or even first season of Parks and Rec. I think that had to find its legs, and then you're like, oh my goodness, this is great, right?
You had the chance to watch the first 3 episodes, right?
Yeah, and the first episode hooked me right away, especially the intro song, especially how they showed like how newspapers being used nowadays. Right. And it's just, I'm happy to see where it goes. And I feel like Oscar was the funny guy out of all the shows, like out of The Office, and now he's the standout for me. So I'm happy he's back.
Yep. And this isn't a story that's talking about paper anymore. We're not talking about sales and things like that, but it still has that side of it. In this story, we're focusing on a small Toledo newspaper that's been around for a long time, and journalism is dying.
Yes.
We have our main character that wants to try to start this up. Again, he wants to try to make journalism work for locals, for communities, so that they can know what's going on. And how does that work within a company that owns so many other things? There could be conflicts of interest. There can be lack of resources. There can be people saying you got to put in sales stuff. Things that, like, even me working here at the station, right? There's a lot of stuff watching this where I'm like, I think I might be triggered a little bit because this feels similar to like trying to make something out of nothing in a lot of ways.
Well, he's completely an aspirational character. He wants to bring journalism back to this town while missing it entirely at the same time. But he's working against forces that are like, hey, we're trying to cut costs, right? We use clickbait here, and we're fine with that. And he's like, what about a real story about the city?
Well, and like when he goes around and he asks people, anybody have experience with journalism? I tweeted. Like, you know, like they don't really have anything. And journalism itself has changed. We've evolved to bloggers that might have way more traction than like a regular outlet. We have we have sales versus substance, and like what's the ratio of those kind of things. They do explore those in very comedic ways. Some of my favorite, I think towards the end, episode 8 is probably my favorite. Tim Key, who friend of the show, because we've talked to him like twice this year, is also on this, playing kind of the Michael Scott role. I think he was perfect. We have 2 Michael Scotts in this. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
And they both work. I had such a blast.
Well, I mean, so what do you think about the ensemble so far, right? Because The Office obviously had some prominent lead players, but the ensemble made the whole show. Do you think what we have in this show is potential for an amazing series?
Well, it feels like Office-isms, right?
Yeah.
Where like these characters, they are familiar, kind of like when you get a Dr. Pepper and like a Mr. Pibb. And it's like, this feels like Stanley. This feels like this could be Stanley, but I'm not sure. And maybe they are putting themselves in a corner themselves by that. And I've not been a fan when, like, those last 2 seasons of The Office, when the documentary crew became more self-aware. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but I can forgive it a little. But what do you think, Lou? Do you think these characters have a good starting point?
Yeah, the first episode did a great job introducing every character. And then the second episode did an also great job putting them together as in like partners, like this person goes with this one, and they do funny parts on the show. So it's definitely something that I'm happy to see, that they'll have their own personality and bring something new to the table. And I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm only on episode 3, so I'm excited to see all the other episodes probably tonight, because
It's easy to binge. It's about a half hour each.
Yeah, they're very short. They're not like an hour long, so it's definitely something easy to watch. Have it in the background if you enjoy it. So.
And you don't need to have seen The Office to actually enjoy this.
Yeah.
I've only seen 2 seasons of The Office.
There you go. I really don't think, like, there will be a lot of, like, there's a little sayings or things that are like, okay, they're referencing this or they're talking about this. But what is going to make this show work is in how different it is. Parks and Rec was very different from The Office. And I think that's what ended up making it stand out. And towards the end, I would argue became a better series than The Office ended up being once Michael left. So for me, this is definitely a see it. I think that it's going to shock a lot of people that really were holding back on, like, should I even jump into this? You can do it. It's okay. It's actually pretty good.
Unfold those arms, open up, and be like, I kind of like it, right?
Yeah.
I will watch Domhnall Gleeson in anything, and I just hope that... Okay.
Rise of Skywalker.
Okay. In 90% of things.
Okay.
But if I hope that Peacock and NBC will give them leeway to make a couple seasons just to really spread out and hit their potential.
Yeah, give them greenlight them for multiple seasons.
Yes.
I think that would be a great idea. Leo, what do you think?
I think it's different enough from The Office that can stand on its own. And I'm happy that it is different enough from The Office, because then you have your own show kind of thing, and you can do whatever you want instead of being like, oh, we need to reference The Office, we need to do this. So I like that part.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, hey, this was a great episode. I'm so glad we got to finally have you on, Leo.
Thank you for having me.
We're going over to his house, right?
Yeah.